Series. Let's go. Let's go, boys. So again, a best of 5, and it's our last best of 5 of Group D. So this is our 5th best of 5 of the day already. Obviously a rematch from our first best of 5 of the day, which is exciting. It's cool to see. And to the bottom left-hand side, we'll be kicking things off with the blue Zerg player. Give it up if you're cheering on Zanster in this series, who got 13-12 by Bly pretty much every game previously. In fact, every game these guys played earlier was a 13-12 from Bly. 3 of them successful, 1 was not. And Zanster, he's getting 13... He's getting 12 pooled. He's getting 12 pooled. Bly changes up his build. Bly from Team Expert. Top right-hand side, he changes his build with the 12 pool, but Zanster still takes a low ground hatchery. Ooh. So I mean, it's just a different form of aggression from Bly. Obviously, he says, well, earlier was the 13-12 series. Now we're going to play the 12 pool series, where I 12 pool you every game. Possibly, it's a possibility. Set up into this, and again, just see what's going to happen. How we're going to watch things develop. I mean, again, Bly's known for being aggressive and all the rest. I think Zanster, I don't believe he's going back to hatch first. I mean, I know it's a fresh series and all the rest of it, but the fact that he decides to go hatch first after Bly 13-12'd him every game in the first series is such a brave move, but it's just not going to pay off for him. These Lings are just going to be able to dodge around the side of this Overlord as well. I mean, obviously, if there's anyone who knows how this Overlord pattern is going to work and to how to avoid it, it's generally going to be Bly. So he avoids it for quite a while. And these things keep on coming. And Zanster building a third hatchery. That's not right. Cancel. You saw the Lings. Sees them again. Sees them multiple times. He has to cancel it. There's no reason to keep it building. I mean, the spawning pool finishes now. Just cancel this. Now starts a spine crawler. I mean, I guess there's no need to kind of have the minerals any sooner, but at the same time, probably would have been beneficial for the most of it. A couple more Lings coming in from the northern side here, and will continue to work their way through this hatchery. Drones pull down to the low ground. A couple of Lings pop out. The Lings will turn and fight, and we can see those drones starting to disappear. Drones are losing this fight very swiftly indeed. As well, back onto the hatchery. Bly is continuing to trade this out quite nicely, and that is that's going to be a hatchery kill before the queen comes out as well, which just slows down production, obviously. Because this was a 12 pool, Bly was able to take his hatchery back at home. And all said and done so far, Bly's actually taken a worker lead, and is still trading nicely with these Zerglings. Zanster is not winning this fight. He's not winning this fight at all. Excuse me, sorry, apologies for the cough. So Zanster's in a little bit of a tough spot here. A few more Lings coming down to the south. I don't know, man. I don't know what he does. You see Zanster just continuing to move through, and is just going to be picking off his Zergling right there. And another drone comes down to the low ground again. I mean, is he just going to double expand? Zanster's still without gas, as is Bly. I think as Bly's taking his third hatchery, so Zanster shouldn't be kind of too far away from taking his own at some point here, if he wants to keep up with Bly. And Bly, after all is said and done, does come out with a bit of a worker lead, and that's only getting better for him right now. I'm genuinely quite surprised at the fact that he's up by 7 workers. That seems like a huge amount. He's making 4 workers against. I guess it's just the extra hatchery already being finished, helping him so much in production. He's got 3 queens against the 1, so he's going to be able to just have more injects and more lava in general to produce out of. As again, a couple of queens just pushing those Zerglings away here towards the front. There's 1, 2, 3 Zerglings going down. This is really sick stuff by Bly. Just continue to just shut down absolutely everything. Missing some injects now in the main as the queen's a bit out of position. Okay, just to get that creep just over here a little bit just to help spread. We'll be apparently stacking some injects and then going over here. That was a little bit inefficient. Could have sent 1 queen here to double inject and 1 queen here to double inject, but it is what it is, and he'll inject, or continue to inject here very shortly anyways. Again, missing the injects hurts a bit because now he's out of lava, and he has money. So it is a little bit of a mistake by Bly actually to have pulled all those queens stuff. I mean, he might have needed all these queens to survive, but he had a lot of energy on them anyways, so it's almost as though he should have injected then came down or something. I'm not sure how it should have worked, but in the end, it's important for him to keep injecting, because otherwise that is how Zanster can potentially just start to come back into the game without even really doing much, just by, you know, hitting his mechanics while his opponent doesn't. He's still down a queen though, so he's still down an inject every 25 energy at the moment. And again, it's just less lava for him to play with, and it's going to be difficult from there. It really is. Swine just burrowing at the front, Zanster setting up with this, as again, a few drones from Bly coming down into position here, going to keep on mining. The Roachron is about to finish on up. The +1 missile attack from Bly also starting over here. So, again, that's set up and rolling. Spire starts from Bly in the back of this middle line too. So, he did play a lot of Mutalisk play against Zanster earlier. We actually saw some really cool games between these guys earlier. The first couple of games were very back and forth. The third and fourth game were a little bit just Bly's all in failed versus Bly's all in worked right from the get-go. So, it was the first two games that were very back and forth, interesting Mutalisk play from Bly game after game. Wonder what Zanster learned from that, because he's actually going melee upgrades, which is right away quite interesting. I could suggest he might want to just go up straight into Hive and towards Ultralisks. The melee upgrades as well on the ground against like Mutas are pretty effective, because you can kind of attack around, you can run past Mutas a bit more, and they're just a little bit more kind of, you can save a few more lings than you can roaches. It's an interesting one. We see the lair now on the way from Zanster as well. I'm just hoping he's not planning to go into Mutas of his own, because that would be truly disastrous based on what Bly is going for right now, of course. Trying to go for his own Mutas so much later. Actually, Bly cancelled the Spire. Okay then, so there was a Spire on the way. I'm not just going crazy, am I? I think he just cancels the Spire. He goes +1 roach speed instead, and well, actually the +1 roaches, well, they'll be pretty good against these lings as we see them coming up towards the upper side. These things, we'll see what they can get up to. There's so many roaches though. Bly has such a lead in this game, man. Roach speed is finishing as +1 comes in. He'll be heading across the map so that he hits at the right time. Looks very, very good for Bly at the moment, and while Zanster tries to build up a lot of spine crawlers, realizing he's going to need something to help him defend here. I don't even think those spine crawlers are going to save him, man. Like, these roaches are going to be so powerful. +1 carapace will finish on the lings, so they still get free shot by the roaches, which is actually a pretty important deal, because the difference between 2-shot and 3-shot in lings is quite, you know, it does quite make one of the biggest differences, basically, in ling versus roach fights. Well, so far holding at the front. The lings, though, look at the lack of surface area, barely able to wrap around, but spines are finishing. But the thing is, the spines are going to start getting targeted down one at a time very quickly in succession, and suddenly from kind of a lot of spines firing away, there's only a couple, and that's going to get even worse as another one will go down very soon. I mean, Bly has found the lead, he's found the damage he needs, and he is going to be taking game number 1 of this best of 5. Spines keeping on dropping, and again, drones just getting cleaned on now. GG! Bly takes game number 1 of this best of 5 series, convincing. Going to start to the bottom right hand side of the map with the Blue Zerg player, who is making an Overlord. What? Oh my god. The mind games are so real. 12 pulls first game of this series after going 13-12 every game earlier, and now he just goes for a macro play for once. Incredible. Guys, it's Bly to the bottom right hand side from Team Expert. Bottom left, our red Zerg player. Give it up if you're going to be cheering on Zanster in this best of 5 series. He does need your support, because currently he's not having too much of a winning record against Bly today. He truly isn't. So let me know what you guys are thinking. Let me know what you guys are feeling, and all the rest. Again, nothing really too ridiculous from Zanster. He's just been playing the gas pool into a hatchery. But Bly, again, he takes the kind of build order advantage here in the super early stages. Hatch gas pool, because his opponent's now playing kind of a defensive build. He's going to play the greedy, best possible build. So Bly takes build order advantage yet again. He's really in the head of Zanster right now. Zanster just, it's not easy getting to the mind of Zanster. A man of many mysteries. A man who consistently surprises the world. But yeah, he's really in the head of Zanster right now because he's just doing everything correct to kind of give himself an advantage against him. 6 Lings on the way from Bly also here, so setting up in towards those to try and help him just defend against these initial Lings. He doesn't even know about these initial Lings. It's just going to be 6 Lings. He's actually going to start Spine? That's very safe, Bly. Why are you starting a Spine? He's just going to cancel it when he realizes that this is kind of macro focused and that there is no real threat. Or does he just want the Spine just to make sure he's safe anyways? He's really setting up defensively. Queens to the ramp and all sorts. Some Lings still across the map for him. The Lings of his opponent come on in. There's only 6 of them, and again, no speed or anything. I think Bly, for whatever reason, has just made a little bit of a misread here. I mean, I don't know what he's seen to really make a misread either. I've really got no clue what he's seen to kind of suddenly decide to be so defensive, you know? It's very, very strange. It is very, very strange. Bane Nest comes down from Zanster. Now we are going to see if Zanster wants to be aggressive. He morphs in a couple Banes defensively and made a few more Lings. So far, players don't really know what's going on just yet, apparently. At the moment, they seem to be a little bit confused and perplexed as to what exactly this is. Queens do pick off an Overlord. And again, the Lings is going to run and try and pick up a bit more damage. They're going to get cleaned out, though. So Lings get cleaned out. A couple of drones do go down. Another couple of Lings on the low ground get picked off as well. Again, more drones coming out on either side. 10 more Lings from Zanster also coming through here. And we're just going to be seeing the few more Lings coming up to the north side. Out of Bly to, again, just try and do a little bit more damage. So Bly can chase down those Lings all the way over to the right-hand side. I'm a little bit perplexed myself. I really am. Like, this game's got me on kind of, like, confusion road. I'm really, I really am just intrigued by what has happened so far. It just feels like it's been very different, you know? Lair is on the way up then from Bly, so setting up in towards this is still some Zerglings coming across, and they will start to target down this hatchery, I imagine, in the next couple of moments. So Hatch going to start taking some damage. Lings and Banes from Zanster are going to be pushing this away, and again, some Lings is going to try and jump on. Just a little bit of trades. Bly with his own third hatchery coming down, Roach Roaring building. Yet to see the Evo chamber from either player as they go into. Well, it's actually only Bly who's going into the lair. Maybe Zanster wants to go aggressive, taking extra gases, no lair. It's very possible he just says, right, let's go. Roach, Bane, Ling off of basically no tech. Let's just attack, attack, attack until you die, or until you hold off and then I realize you've got lair and upgrades and I just type out. Spire on the way from Bly, so once again thinking about the Mutalisk at least, and well, there is the lair now on the way up from Zanster as well, and he will invest into that evolution chamber too to get ready for his upgrades. So it's just a little bit slow in setting up here, as we see. Again, just going to be diving on in. Lings all over the place at the moment from Bly, just trying to scout, and you still see the lair on the way up. Obviously, we won't know exactly when it's going to finish, but knowing it's not finished already just gives him a good idea as to how far ahead he is in terms of that lair timing, and knows that the possibility of roach speed isn't quite there just yet for his opponent. And again, Spire just being over halfway done is quite nice from Bly, because now he is going to have, way before there's any sort of real aggressive push out of Zanster, he's going to be able to turn this away, and he shows roaches. This is really nice, because I think the last thing Zanster is going to be expecting now is going to be Mutalisk. You know, what has he seen? He's seen some roaches at the front. I mean, sure, he's not seen an Evo chamber or anything, but he's not seen anything to suggest Mutalisk either, so I think one of the last things in his mind at this point is the fact that this is going to be kind of a Spire play. And Bly, well, he's got the gas for 6 meters initially, and he will start up those 6. He can go a little bit further than that. He's just lose 4 workers here. Actually, very nearly a 5th. Nice transfuse, just keeping it alive. Needs to be really good with the mouse control to kind of target down that drone with the transfuse. Very easy to miss and hit the wrong target. I know, I've tried to transfuse a drone in my life. It didn't go well. as you might be able to tell from my kind of negativity towards the experience. We're just going to push across. Mutas are coming through the skies, and well, Zanster's about to see this for the first time in just a few moments. Now, obviously, Mutas can do a lot to try and slow down Zanster continuing in the game. The first thing is to be able to come through and fight Overlords. Not sure if Bly wanted to do that, if he wants to go into the main. I think the main is where he wants to go. No Spore Crawlers yet, and well, he's going to start fighting his way through a first Queen here. Drones are going to take some damage. They pull away, and Bly will be hot on their tails to pick up some kills. Yeah, now a couple of spores start to build, but obviously not too quickly, and he can jump into the third base, and this is where Bly finds the damage to make up for what has been a bit of a disadvantage for him up until now. However, Roach is coming across the map, and that's the point at which Bly has to look at this and say, okay, well, I have to make sure I can stay alive and that I defend. So this might be the point where the Mutas do start to come back. Right now, working their way through reinforcements. He has got Roaches over here, Transfuses available, but he's fighting against a +1 upgrade of his opponent, which is obviously hugely useful in terms of continuing to trade. The fact that the Spine Crawler isn't part of the fight is just a big shame for Bly, positioning that more towards the front to deal with any units that try to run in towards the natural. As the Mutalists do indeed start to continue to work their way through these Roaches, so Roaches continue to drop on down. Zanster being chased all the way over to the left side of the map yet again. And these Mutas will again pick off another drone to the south. And this one Queen from Bly will again poke away at Zanster's Overlord over here. Does manage to pick off the another Roach. Again, just good macro by Bly, and the lead he's taken from this is absolutely insane. Obviously he's going to be ahead, behind in upgrades, but nonetheless, I mean, he's going to have like 20 army supply more than his opponent, and these Mutas are still harassing. And this was only 6 Mutalists. The damage he's dealt with 6 Mutas is insane. Like, 12 drones, he's dealt, killed off a lot of Roaches with these Mutas too. And he's just so controlling, really controlling what Zanster can get up to. Queen's taking some shots as well, and he might even just die for that Queen kill. Small advantages go in the way of Bly. Such good Muta control right now. Once again, just grabs one more drone and then backs away. He has got +1 now. +2 on the way from Zanster. Bly not looking to try and attack just yet. He's got more Mutas coming out. Kills yet another Overlord, and it's again just something else Zanster has to worry about. He's about to hit a supply block here. He's 137 of 138. Still no Overlord in production. So that's going to be painful in a moment or two, as you can just see that Bly has so much pushing forwards. The Roach numbers are maybe kind of even-ish, but with the Muta damage overhead, it's just going to be too much, and Bly is destroying Zanster. Where are the hides? They're still not finished building. They're taking so long to build. By the time they come out, they're just going to get killed by the Roaches, which for Bly will be in overwhelming numbers. GG, and Zanster 5. I love you till I die. Top left side of the map from Team Expert is our red Zerg player, Bly, up 2-0 in this series. Bottom right, blue Zerg, Zanster, will go back to the hatchery first, as will Bly. Actual macro game from the get-go, perhaps? I mean, we sort of had it in the last game as well, to be fair, but 2 in a row? Crazy. 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 How are we all doing in the chat, guys? What's up, Doc? Is the Void? How you doing today? Zanster just got outplayed. Rip. So, yeah. He did. I mean, honestly, he did. And I think that's kind of true throughout this series and through the previous series so far for Zanster. Bly has just been playing better. And I love Zanster, I really do, but he really just has been outplayed this this week, unfortunately. Well, not this week, today. So, yeah. Wait to see how this continues. You see a Zergling speed upgrade from Bly initially. Zanster has got gas as well. Bly going to cut down to just 1 worker inside of it, and Zanster going to stick with 3 apparently. So you will have that little bit of a faster Bane nest. I don't know what Zanster tries to do now, man. Like, I wonder if he just says, right, I get it, you're beating me every time. Let's just build a whole bunch of let's just build a whole bunch of, like, I don't know, like Roaches or something, or just like, let's just go Massling Bane attack and just hope that it does enough. I don't know, but like, whatever, everything else he's been trying today hasn't worked, and the only game he's won was the game where Bly just had a 13-12 against a pool first, and Zanster just did the right things, which isn't so much Zanster. I mean, obviously it's Zanster doing the right things and coming out ahead because of it. But, yeah, it was more so just like Bly getting the build order loss and Zanster just playing correctly. More so than Zanster playing well enough to beat Bly, if that makes sense. Like, Zanster didn't outplay Bly or anything. It was really just the kind of build order advantage which he then played correctly. You can see the things coming in and taking a little bit of a trade right now as nice little surround from Bly. He actually hits the ling speed a little bit faster too. He was a few seconds early on the gas. Only gets one ling with it though. Still pressuring this third hatchery. Lots of drones back at home from Bly behind this. See more lings, of course, from Zanster, who's just preparing to make sure he can defend. A couple lings dart in towards the natural mineral line. Queen will do some damage, and then lings go into the main, where they'll take even more damage. And Zanster not paying attention to them. We'll be losing them. These lings still over here. We'll be looking to try and trade effectively against the Banes. 2 Banes for 3 lings. 3 Banes for 4 lings. This is great for Bly. I mean, that's fantastic. It's exactly what he wants. However, he doesn't have anything right now to deal with these lings running up the left side of the map, so he might be in trouble on his own third base. And he's actually just made a round of drones, so he doesn't have any lings just yet. Bly is in a bit of trouble, I think, right now. Pushing forwards, these 2 queens. Are they enough? Are they going to be able to fight this? A third queen as well? The lings dive in towards the natural. I mean, he's realizing here that Bly has, not really got a lot, so he's going to try and maximize the damage he can do. He's catching lings as they pop out. And Zanster, for the first time in a long time, is really making opportunities for himself in this ZvZ. Comes back up in towards the main. We see again the lair is continuing to morph on in. Still some lings looping around the top side, see what else is going on. Nice catch actually by Bly. Cleans up very easily indeed right there. As we do see again the Evo coming down. Interesting. Live from Zanster on the way up in the main base. Spire is already ready though for Bly. Is that something that Zanster's seen then? Was he just in the main? He was only in the natural, right? So he saw the lair on the way before, and considering Bly's played mutas so much today, would not be surprised if Zanster thought about this, but he did see a Rotron, didn't see the Evo, which actually I think Bly would like him to see, because that makes it again look more so like roaches, especially going for an upgrade early is not really what you do with mutas, because there's obviously a lot more gas than what you can really afford if you're going to go into that gas having muta play. So it's interesting. What did Zanster see in terms of gases? Not really many either, so he doesn't have an indicator in that regard. Oh, he's going to throw down a Spire of his own. Well, as it stands right now, gas income is even. As it stands right now, gas income is even. Bly has just a little less gas than Zanster in the bank. I think Bly is going to be... again, it's a tough one to say. It depends. Bly needs to stop making roaches, basically. He needs to make just mutas, because if he doesn't make just mutas, then Zanster's going to start getting enough units up here to or enough mutas of his own to just outnumber Bly. Going in towards the main base, Bly is going to get scouted. That Spire is going to be seen, and so Zanster now knows how important the +1 Flyer Carapace upgrade is going to be. Flyer Carapace does so much in muta versus muta, because when the mutas attack, they have the glaives that bounce and they transfer between targets. It's kind of like the splash damage the mutas do. The Carapace upgrade will affect every muta that gets hit by a bouncing glaive, whereas the attack upgrade only applies to the first shot of the mutalisk. So Flyer Carapace is going to be hugely important as Bly. What has he seen to start that up? Oh, he saw the Spire. Wow, so Bly gets a scout. That's huge as well, because he can start Flyer Carapace now. And that will help him so much here. Zanster going to take the defensive position with the mutas. He can get more up because he just has more gas, but he's going to invest into spores. He's just missing minerals at the moment. Bly will escape now to the side. A lot of lings up the left side as well. Gotta remember that Bly has the roach upgrades and the potential to go into more roaches to follow this up too. But muta versus muta, I think he'd be a little bit silly to really pull back and not actually keep on making mutas. Mutas against mutas. If you start making roaches, I think you're just asking, because then you lose the fight in the sky because you have less mutas. And then after you lose the fight in the sky, guess what happens next? Oh shit, yeah, you're right. Yes, guys, you know what you're right about? Yeah, the fact that you just die on the ground because the mutas kill everything. It's a tough one. Bly coming across. What's the meter count at right now? 13 to 10. So Bly actually has the numbers, and the fact he's going Carapace over attack, I don't understand why Zanster's going for Flyer attack. like we just mentioned, there's a reason Carapace is what Bly went into right away. And the attack upgrade is, again, not really considered to be much better. Unless he feels like Bly is really going to commit back into Roach production, then Flyer attack could work, because he doesn't need the Carapace of his own to win the fight in the skies, and the attack will do so much more to the Roaches on the ground. That's a possibility, so that could be the reason that Zanster is looking at this and saying, okay, let's go Flyer attack, rather than, again, what we're expecting him to do, which is the Carapace. Again, as it stands, Bly's actually gone into some more Roach production, by the way. He's still 2 Mutalisks ahead. He's just been trading very well here. Picked off a Muta, picked off a few drones here and there. The fact he's got a 4th base is the real difference right now. He's able to kind of, just basically mine more gas per minute than his opponent. So the fact that he's already taken, not that much, but he's about 100. It's, again, just another little advantage that he will hold. You can see immediately Zanster goes into the gases as he gets them, knowing that this is super important. Bly with these Roaches, obviously going to try and just attack somewhere. If he can use the Roaches to get rid of the Queens on the ground, it enables Bly's Mutalisks to come in and take a bit of a better fight in the sky. Because again, what Zanster's doing is he's playing a very defensive style of Mutalisks versus Mutalisks, which is where he's the one with the Spores and Queens to just basically keep on defending. I do see a Spore going down here, but it did cost him a Mutalisk. So not for free. Oh, the Mutalisk splitting up. That's the last thing you want to have happen, because that would be a little bit disastrous. Bly starts to take this. Does take a good little fight. Again, he being a kind of a Mutalisk down, I think, doesn't really matter when you've got the potential. Just keep on trading with the Carapace. And Zanster, Muta's not fighting there momentarily. Transfuses help, but the Roaches are cleaning out the mineral lines as well. Ling streaming in too. Bly backs away now. Mutalisk count 18 to 15, still in favor of Bly. Now he flies back in, kills even more drones. It's, again, pretty much the same way the majority of these games went. Bly just playing better than Zanster. GG, well played, good luck. Bly moves into the money. He's the 2nd player to advance to the quarterfinals of Takes Penthouse Party number 2. Congratulations. 2nd place in Group D alongside